Wagwan Crazy Crew, welcome back to another video of whatever the hell we're calling my channel. I disappeared for a few days. I was on a trip and I came back and I saw a lot of people were disrespecting my favorite deck. Okay, that's a stretch. It's definitely not my favorite deck. Bunny Dusknoir, which we are now calling Ghost Bunny. No, we're calling it Duskbunnies. We're calling it Duskbunnies. A lot of Duskbunny disrespect going around. I won a League Cup with it last weekend, and don't ask me how many people were there. It doesn't matter. And I want to play some games and show you guys again why this deck is real. Yeah, I'm not going to waste more of your time. Let's just go here. Let's go. All right, this is what's going on. Let's hop into a couple games here. I want to show you guys first the list that I won the League Cup with. Once again, how big it was doesn't matter. Please keep that in mind. It's a man saying he won a Mickey. So there's a list I was using. We'll hop in this. I really want to talk about this deck deeply and like really talk about what it is and why it's good. I saw it did well at Stuttgart this weekend, so I think you guys need to pay attention to this deck. But pretty basic list. We got the 4 candies. It's super turbo. 4-4 Dusknoir. Only a 3-2 bunny line is pretty light. A couple Mega Kangaskhan. I think I should probably drop one for a Mega Bunny here, so let's go with this instead. I didn't find Mega Kangaskhan to be too useful in troves. And then we got 5 energies and a bunch of cards. Anyways, so let's hop into some games on ladder here. Why is this deck good, you might ask? So we did a video on this on the channel before, and it was really, really strong the first time we tried it. But you can definitely see how it falls off over time. The biggest tip I could give with this deck right now is that you have to really wait to kind of blow up your board. Kind of similar to the whole Dust Ball thing, right? Like Dust Ball players that are successful always wait for the perfect moment to kind of go in. This deck is very, very similar to that. So let's hop into some games. We'll talk through this as we go, but I do think this deck is really, really important to pay attention to. And I really think highly of this deck. If I get into Toronto tomorrow night, please, I hope, God bless, I will definitely consider playing this. I think this deck is super cool. Let's start with that. Okay, so I got a couple things to explain. So first of all, I'm wearing a Calgary Flames hat because I try to switch up the hats I wear every once in a while for these videos. Only issue is it's soaking wet, and I was on a trip. I was in Manhattan last few days. Why did I say Manhattan like that? Manhattan? What the hell am I? Anyways, I was in Manhattan the last couple days. I'm going first, and I guess on my way home, my carry-on or my like toiletry bag exploded. And so there's a bunch of leave-in conditioner all over my hat right now, but it's making the hat kind of green, and I think it's pretty jokes. What's in our hand here? So there's not a whole lot going on. I see an Iron Hands, which makes me think Joltik Box immediately, which really, really, really makes me want to go into Klefki here. Klefki is very, very strong in these scenarios, kind of slow them down. I think we're going to go with Klefki and then burn our Ultra Ball to get Latias, as horrible as that feels. Oh, this sucks. I got to get rid of everything, don't I? Do I get rid of the Candy and Dusknoir, or do I get rid of the Mega Bunny? I feel like I want to kill this next turn with Mega Bunny, so I feel like this is probably better. Let's get rid of this. Let's go for Latias, retreat into Klefki, and pass. And yes, I do know I will lose my my Latias once my Klefki is active. Anyway, so yeah, so my hat is soaked, but we're on vibes. I saw this deck did really well at Stuttgart this weekend. I was going to do another episode of the Zorg Learning Series. We will get back to that in a sec. But I think it's time to revisit this deck and kind of show you guys what's going on with it. I haven't looked at the list yet, I'll be honest. I got to look at the Stuttgart list. I think maybe in the second game of this video, we'll take a look at one of those and maybe try it out. But yeah, a lot of promise for this deck right now. Although a lot of people were kind of taking a dump all over it, but I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, so Toronto Reg is tomorrow, and like, sorry if you guys are new here, I like to ramble over my my live videos just as my opponent's doing their thing. So Toronto Reg is tomorrow. I didn't get in the first wave, hoping to get in the second wave. If I don't get in, we are playing VGC. Okay, so mark that here now. We're playing VGC. I had some time, like I said, in New York, where I was like walking around doing stuff. I passed by the Nintendo store. I saw the Switches. I saw people playing ZA and all that stuff. And I know VGC still runs the Scarlet Violet, so I got to dust up my copy. But definitely got me hyped up a little bit. I'm kind of like 50-50. I'm like, all right, if I don't get into Toronto, whatever, bro. I'll live. Like, I'll play VGC or something. So we'll see. But yeah, there was definitely some stories I got to tell about what I saw in New York City this time around. I skipped LAIC, so I just really wanted to go on a trip. So I dragged my girl out to New York, and we went out there. Just Christmas in New York, right? It's a special time. It's pretty fun. Blew some money. I was yesterday years old when I found out they sold an exclusive Statue of Liberty Pikachu at the Nintendo store, so that was pretty cool. And like generally felt like the prices were really reasonable this time around. US dollar sucks compared to the, or like is really good compared to the Canadian dollar, which sucks for us is what I'm trying to say. And normally like you go down there, you're spending $1,000, $2,000 easily. I actually got away with not spending that much money this time around, so that was really nice. Just kind of surviving off pizza. We had a couple of nice like steak dinners, but other than that, yeah, that was pretty chill. Our opponent seems to really be taking their time here. Average Joltik box player experience. But yeah, dude, I think. So I saw a version of this deck with Pidgeot, which really intrigued me. I think we need to investigate that next game. But for now, I think this build is really good. So I won the cup with this. It was like a tiny cup. All I had to do was win 3 games. So that's basically what I did. And that was the end of that. Beat a Mega Kangaskhan and 2 Jelly Guardies. So it was pretty light. But this deck really got to show off what it's good at. And I think I made like a couple tiny misplays and it almost came back to bite me in the ass. So I think there's definitely a lot of skill expression with this deck. Is like as aggressive as it seems. Like typically the aggressive decks don't really correlate to too much skill expression, but this is one of those times where I think it does. I don't think our opponent knows what Klefki does. They just wasted a Nest Ball and a Latias, and they are Ultra Balling for something else. I think my homework for the next couple days will be to get to Arceus tier, so we don't have to play against this kind of stuff. No disrespect to my opponent, but I feel like they're definitely goofing a little bit. We're already at 16.5 minutes, or well, 16:55 on the clock, and they literally haven't even attached an energy yet. Like they're just doing nothing. So hoping they can pick this up, and then we're gonna blow them up in the Mega Bunny this turn, provided we get an energy. So hopefully we draw the Jet, but we shall see. I don't think my opponent has realized that they can't retreat yet, which is don't think they're gonna take nicely to that one. This is a matchup that I guess in theory shouldn't be too great for our Mega Bunny deck. There are a lot of big boys, so our Dusknoirs don't do a whole lot. So we got another Mega Bunny. I really don't want an Iono hand of 2 that seems relatively dead, but just because our opponent is locked in the active spot, I don't really care. Let's go ahead and do that. That sucks. All right, no Jet energy or energy at all, really. We do have Rare Candy Dusknoir, which is interesting. We have a Buddy Poffin. We have a Switch. We could bomb this Joltik and try and draw an energy. Only problem with that, I don't know if we prize one. Let's have a look. Let's see. No, we didn't. Okay, so we're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it alive. I suppose Mega Kangaskhan could have been pretty good with that Ultra Ball, but we will for now get a Bunny. Get a second one going here. We can just go ahead and pass the turn. I don't think there's much else to do here. Our opponent's effectively locked outside of a Prime Catcher. If they boss, they can retreat, and then Joltik, which is, I think, kind of okay by us. Like, I don't really care if they do that. Oh, that'll do it. I didn't. Okay. Yeah, that says your Pokemon has no retreat. Cool. So our plan here, I think we want to avoid the Joltik if possible. Just keep going around this thing. I have no interest in taking that one prize card, to be completely honest with you. But the good news is, no matter what they accelerate to, we will be able to kill it pending something decent, like pending boss energy. So we can kill basically anything on the board. I suppose the matchup for them is just as awkward, right? Because we have 330 health. It's a little bit challenging. They have nothing that can really deal with that. Curious what they accelerate to here. Dude, this soaking hat is pissing me off. This thing is like nasty on my head right now. I'm gonna go take a shower straight after this. Alright, we got a Lillie. That's good. Switch Lillie. I think that's essentially what we're going for here. Is there any world where we blow up this Joltik? Yeah, I think there is. I think we have to. That feels horrible though. What if I just Lillie into another Rare Candy Dusknoir? I can blow that up. I like that better. Let's do that. All right, we got a Jet. We got another Mega Bunny. We got a Dusclops. It's all good cards. I think I would much rather use the Dusclops here to blow this up. So we're just gonna kill this just so they have to give us something else. Yeah, I really don't want to take the one prize, but I mean, like, it's the only way to really do this here. Curious to see what they give us. I think the most logical thing for them to give us is the Pikachu. If they give us the Pikachu, I definitely think we'll put some thought into bombing it with a Dusknoir. So it is the Pikachu. If we kill it with a Dusknoir... Okay, let's think about this logically. Kill it with a Dusknoir, they go down to 4. They're hypothetically in the lead. But if we leave nothing on the bench that they can kill, if we never bench another Duskull, they can't really take advantage of that, I don't think. So I think we can go ahead and do that. So let's blow this up. Put 130 on this thing. They're going to take a prize. They're going to go down to 4. And then we're going to jet this up. We're going to bench nothing else so that their only play here really is to Iron Hands KO the Klefki. We're not going to put any of this stuff down. Yeah, and we're just going to play a game of chicken, basically, at this point. So let's go ahead and go through us. We have a Hilda in our hand, which is really good, so we can start looping the Mega Bunnies together. And this is where I kind of think the skill expression of this deck can take over a little bit. I know how tempting it would be there to just hit into it, and then maybe the correct play is to just hit into it and then Dusknoir it away later when it's convenient. But I feel like this is okay too, because I want to put the pressure on them not having energies. Like, I didn't want to give them a chance to use that Pikachu to attack for any sort of relevant damage, because if you leave that thing active, they can just I guess they can crisp in and just hit for 300, which is not really what I want to deal with. With a Prime Catcher KO the Latias or something else, that's not really something I want to deal with. Here we leave them with essentially their only attacker being a Iron Hands EX, or Iron Hands X, I apologize. And we can kind of take them out like that. I feel like that's our best plan of action here. So we have 3 prizes left. We got to go through 2 more things, which we can do. We are in a pretty good spot here where we can, they go in with hand sacks. We'll just Hilda for Jet or Enriching to try and draw the boss for the following turn too. And Mega Bunny is so crazy too, because it's 1 retreat, 230. You can just keep bombing them in and out. It's a crazy card. The sheer stats on it are just nuts. So there's just Budew as well. So when I posted my league pick, a lot of people asked yo, when do you use Budew? The answer is I don't know, but I think the logical answer is you can use it to kind of set up the same way you use it with Dust Bolt. So in games where like this game, obviously Klefki was really good, but in games where Klefki is not that good, we can always go in with Budew. We play Buddy Poffins, we play Nest Balls, we play Latias. We can do all that stuff. So yeah, okay, so this is playing out the way we thought it would. So they're gonna boss this. They're probably gonna play to try and bear KO this Latias to win the game, which, to be fair, they might have. I don't know. I don't even know. Oh, I do know this list does play Iono. I don't know if we have another one left. We only play 2. They forgot to retreat. That's hilarious. Retreat your Latias before bossing the Klefki. You goofed. So we'll never really know what would have happened to this game, which is unfortunate because I think we were actually in a losing spot. Oh, okay. What? What the helly? Okay, alright. I mean, sure. Yeah, I guess that does make our life kind of annoying, doesn't it? Fair enough. Alright, so we have another turn to do stuff, so let's bomb away some of these cards I never want to see again. I have no problem getting bear down in this scenario. As it stands right now, we have no real way to kill this Pikachu, or get around it. Because we don't have a boss, we don't play like Bundle or anything, which is a card that I'm really thinking about after this game. We don't play that either. I'm starting to think if maybe there's a world where I think now we put down a Duskull. Because they missed this turn, we can afford to do this. So let's put down a Duskull. This is how we could win the game if we just punch into this thing this turn, which I think is what we're going to do. I also think we need to go for the enriching here. It's not the most fun thing in the world having to retreat off this energy, but I'm confident we'll find another one. Or two more. Or we don't have to retreat at all. Cool. Let's go in here. Let's do this. This feels okay to me because it's going to survive on 10. They can at max take 2 prizes next turn. Well, provided they don't play anything dumb. I don't know. Maybe they play. Oh, maybe they have. No, Gravity Mountain doesn't do it here. They would need Crispin plus Black Belt's training. Like they need like it's. I think impossible for them to kill a Mega Bunny and take 3 prizes. So as long as they don't take 3 prizes, we can win the game next turn. That's essentially what this boils down to. Dude, this card is so fresh. So is this, but for whatever reason, it's 20 bucks. We get attached down to the Pikachu here, so I think they're probably going to have to go for another Gust KO on the Duskull. That's probably how they survive this. You could argue I should have put down 2 Duskulls, to which I would have agreed with you. I think that Bear probably should be a Duskull, because there's no situation in which now that I need Bear. I have the 2 Mega Bunnies. I don't need Bear. So yeah, I have no idea why I did that. That wasn't very smart, but whatever. If they boss KO Duskull with hands. Yeah, I don't know what we do actually in that situation. Boss KO Duskull with hands. We don't play Holucha. We don't play anything that can really like pick this prize off. Iono? Bro, what? Why do you play that? Like, thank God we drew the cards we were supposed to. But like, well, the cards that we needed. But like, who the hell? That's actually like the perfect couple cards. Who the hell plays Iono in this deck? What's wrong with you, man? Into an arm press. Okay, so we have this game locked up. Let's just go ahead and win this and be done with this. I don't want to see this deck ever again. Rubber Dusclops. Alright, cool. Concession. Okay. First game down. We kind of saw the power of holding our board as just bunnies that game. It didn't really work out in the way that we needed it to. Like, we won the game in a different way, but I think that's a good example of how you can kind of like you start with this wide board and you can kind of thin it down to be what you want towards the end. Having to bench Latias kind of sucked for us because it almost ended up losing us the game, but we're good. For now, new deck 107 seems pretty good. I think let's get into one more before we switch up the list. And hopefully this is a bit of a quicker game because I do want to try the other list as well. So yeah, this deck is really, really strong into a lot of decks. What you're going to lose to, you're going to lose to Goldenga, you're going to lose to probably, actually I shouldn't even say that. I was going to say you're going to lose to Raging Bolt, but maybe you don't. You have the ability to pace them basically on KOs, but you're definitely losing to Goldenga. There's not much we can do about that. I was thinking about putting in Toadskrull, but it seems like we're just doing too much at that point. Not too sure what else we can do about Dengo. I haven't really thought about it too much, but we'll definitely have a look into that because I think that's one of the decks that you can't afford to lose to, really. Other like tough-ish matchups, I think Dragapult could be tough. I haven't really played it yet, but they just do better than us at what we're trying to do. No basics there. Dude, I gotta stop doing this thing where I like fly back and then work the same day. I'm like so bust by the time the day's over. I'm just dying, man. But the content grind don't stop. I skipped shift queue this week, so I gotta do something, right? Alright, we got the Mega Kangaskhan, which is really cool. We can start that. Nice part about playing a deck that has like infinite pivot options is that you're allowed to do things like this, like blindly start Mega Kang and just see what happens. Let's draw 2. Not much more we can ask for than this. Bomb those, grab a bunny, and pass. Playing against the Alakazam deck, so I think a Rare Candy Dusknoir will do us very well next turn, or even just a Dusclops and a Stretcher would be great. I guess now we also need a Jamming Tower because this card destroys us by effects and abilities. Okay, that's not good. Also, guys, I think this deck is probably real. This Mega Alakazam deck. I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. They're going to switch into Rotom here, which is pretty good. Not sure what we're going to do about that. Makes us really need Rare Candy Dusknoir now. Alright. Let's do some stuff here. Really don't want to draw cards before I Lillie, but I'm gonna guarantee that we can get this this Mega Bunny active here. I do think as well that it's good to get a Dusclops here just in case we randomly draw a Jamming Tower. Let's do that. Oh. Oh. Okay. We can kill 2 Abras and the active and just try and run them off the board. Yeah, what the hell? Why not? Let's do it. Was not expecting to hit that. Let's kill the one with energy, obviously. So it's gonna put them down. I can't speak. Gonna put them down to 4. Gonna put us down to 3 by the time this turn's over, which is fine. I think we're okay with that. Bro, why are drinks so expensive in New York City? I mean, that's such a stupid question because obviously it's a big city. But bro, I got like 4 drinks. I spent like $110. American. That's like ghetto Irish pub outside MSG, surrounded by crackheads. It's like. This does not seem like it should be a luxurious establishment. Get down to the Duskull. Let's just hit through this thing. Dude, I saw the craziest thing when I was, I would like, so my girl sleeps a lot more than I do, so I get up early and I go and I do my thing sometimes, and like that was one of the situations where she was sleeping, and I was like, all right, I'm just go outside, see what's up. It was like a pouring rainy day, like, I'm just walking over to Dunkin' Donuts because, like, I don't know, why not, right? Let's go to Dunkin' Donuts. And this is a true story. I wish to take a picture of this. I told my boys, they were freaking out. I'm walking down the street, and I probably shouldn't say this on YouTube, but, like, what would this be if it wasn't a chill, you know, bar-like establishment here at my YouTube channel? There was a man walking down the street with nothing but an English cucumber and oil. And I was like, bro, like, this can't be real, man. Like, just a random, like, I don't know if he was a crackhead or just like a random man, like, just walking down the street, just holding an English cucumber and oil. And I said, I just walked by him. I was scared. I was like, what are you up to, bro? Like, Sean Diddy Combs roaming the streets out there, man. Scary stuff. But like, I also took the subway for the first time. It was like shockingly clean and like really well done. Like, I didn't see any rats. There were no weirdos. For the most part, it was pretty good. I'm quite pleased with my subway experience down in New York City, which is like weird because I'm from Toronto, where like, you know, not a whole lot of stuff happens, but our subway is like kind of ghetto at times. I like low key. I wouldn't say I felt safe around the New York subway, but definitely there's a conversation to be had there. I think it's not as black and white as people think. Like, New York subway is not that bad. All right, so they benched a Fez, which just looks like free prizes to me. If they don't get another thing down, Battle Cage, I like our chances here. Maybe our chances of even winning the game next turn. Okay, there you go. All right, so we're not winning the game. Oh, we're definitely not winning the game. Okay. This guy's like low-key teched for us too. All right, we have Mega Bunny Boss, KO Fez, or KO Kadabra. They both feel pretty good. This is a very interesting spot. Do you kill Pheasant, just go down to 1 and say, hey, you can't win next turn and I can? Because they're definitely not going to hand refresh us, right? So then we just have Hilda to win. Yeah, I like it. Maybe shouldn't bench lock ourselves. Let's go ahead and do that. I know we can, in theory, pop a Dusknoir many times, but our Dusclops are both gone. So I'm kind of scared there that their only play would be to counter catcher like a Mega Kang and just like tickle it. So I want to make sure that we don't do that. Otherwise, I would love to get Bear down. Rare situation where I think it's worth going at the 2 prizer here and going down to 1 because I know they're not going to hand refresh me. If they do, they can't KO me, so I'm cool. A logical play there most of the time. If you're playing any other decks, just to kill the Kadabra and not get too greedy, but I feel like there is fine. Just get greedy, because if we die here, just Hilda and we win anyways. It is kind of bonkers how quickly they can like build up damage. Like you see here, like their hand is 12, they're already hitting 300. It's not that free. If they put down a Dunsparce, they'll go down to 14, then shuffle and go up to 17. Yeah, they'll have enough to KO me. Or, sorry, Dunsparce. If you're gonna kill me, just do it, bro. Alright, so we guaranteed that we're keeping our hand, which is all we could have asked for here. That means outside of some like Heroes Cape shenanigans, we do win the game next turn. You can enhance hammer all you want, buddy. Cool. That's another game down with the Mega Bunny deck. It's just aggressive, man. Like, you'll win games that you have no business winning. And I love that. Scoop Ender. Okay, cool. So, 2 down, 2 wins. I'm going to go to Limitless real quick. Find a different build that we can try. I really like this build. I'm going to put this build in the description so you guys can try it out as well. But we're going to get a different build going on right about now. All right, we're back. We got New Deck 108, which is actually very similar to New Deck 107. Let's go over it real quick. I just took the highest placing list from Stuttgart. Some changes you'll see off the top. There's not 4 Dusknoirs. There's 3. 2 Bunny instead of 3 I think we had. And then instead of that, you have like a Pidgeot line. I think that's literally the only change. Everything else is still the same. There's also a Fan Rotom, which is cool. I like that a lot, actually. Support count is similar, if not the same. I think there's only 2 switch instead of 3. Anyways, doesn't matter. So we're trying this build. This build finished, I think, somewhere in the top 32. Using Pidgeot to help nitpick those cards you needed towards the end of the game seems really, really strong. So I'm excited to try this. Let me put it like this, guys. A meme deck doesn't make top 32 at regionals unless it's real. There's a certain threshold that a meme deck can get to. Like, I think a meme deck can fluke a 64. A meme deck can fluke a 128. Like, I've fluked 128 64s with meme decks before. But you can't fluke a 32 at a big tournament and, like... Okay, let me rephrase that. You can fluke a 32 at a big tournament, but there won't be other versions of you around. There's a ton of Bunny Dusknoirs up in that area, 64, 32, 128. So this deck is real. As much as some people don't want to believe this deck is real, this deck is real. It's fun, and it's here, and I don't think it's going anywhere. Ideal start here, actually. We got Fan Rotom and Pidgey. So we're going to see the power of this right off the bat. Okay, so we know we have the Pidgeot. What we need to do is fan call before we bench the Pidgey to make sure we have the Pidgeotto, which we do. Nice. And the Ditto and the Buneary. Okay. This is quite good. Let's go ahead and get those. Bench all this stuff. We can jet this into the active. Transform this into a Duskull. Do a search here. There's probably a world where I could put this into a Kangaskhan as well, but because our hand is so strong, I think we'll just go with this. Let's move that into Duskull. and pass. Next turn we have Hilda for the Mega Bunny. We have the Jet in hand. We can evolve the Dusclops. This all seems pretty good to me. We're playing against a Duskull, which is obviously a very strong deck. We're not exceptionally weak to item lock, to be honest, because we also go first, and since we go first, we do get set up earlier, faster. Brilliant. We had obviously a pretty good start with Rotom plus Pidgey, plus now we have a Pidgeotto and a Pidgeot in hand, which is it's pretty good. But I think this goes to show that this deck has a lot of pop-off potential. Just so you guys know, I don't edit out any games, so what you get is what actually happened. See what's going on here. There's a Lillie for 8 and immediately an Ultra Ball for Budew. Okay, so they're gonna go and item lock us. If they have to retreat their energy off, I feel pretty good here. Cool. So we actually don't even need to go into Mega Bunny here if we don't want to. We'll definitely like consider that. We have the Jet in hand. We could just go in with Rotom. Let's do this. Grab some more cards. Do we want to get Enriching Energy maybe this time? I think I like that. Let's evolve this. Is there any reason to not go in with Bunny here? I mean, like, I don't know, why not? Like, I don't see the point in attacking with Rotom over Bunny here, to be honest. One forces me to play a Jamming Tower while the other doesn't. And, like, Bunny's still, like, they're not going to give me something that has more than 160 health, most likely. And if they do, then I'll play the switch and then just use Gale Thrust. But Bunny's second attack is really good. Like, the Spiky Hopper goes through everything. Like, this card is seriously powerful. Like, seriously. I am excited to play this card in, like, everything. And, like, Buneary's sick, bro. Look at this thing. Sick-ass Pokemon. So, yeah, the New York Chronicles. I was talking about that. I've been a few times to New York. But, like, this time I got to walk around a little bit more. I was a little bit more free. I could do whatever I wanted. And, like, I really, really enjoy New York for what it is. Like, I could see myself moving there one day. The only problems is it's expensive as hell. And there's just a lot of people. Like, I feel like I would go nuts just going to bed every night. And there's, like, sirens and people screaming. And, like, it's a different level of chaos out there, bro. It's not like Toronto chaos. It's not like any other big city chaos. This is New York chaos. It's serious business. Got the feds coming down. And I appreciate y'all being here. If you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button. Helps me a lot. And comment down below or like or whatever these YouTubers say to do. Just do that. I don't really know what it is or what it does, but I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs is the big milestone. Yeah, definitely the more interaction I get on these videos, the more I'm encouraged to post them. So that definitely helps. Okay, so we got nothing going on here for our opponent. And I believe we have the ability to wipe what we want to wipe here. Get rid of those. Let's get rid of the Dusknoir. Yeah, okay. We can wipe both Dracloaks, which is really, really good. Go ahead and Curse Blast that one. Also makes their things weaker, right? Their Lilies when they take a prize. That's always good. There is certainly a world where it might be better to kill the Fez here and take the 2 prizes and go down to 2. But I feel like we're comfortable enough that I'm willing to just kill the Dracloak here. Quick search for boss. This is the power of this deck, guys. This is the thing. So the thing with this deck is I feel like it's one of those decks where instant concession, nice. Feels like it's like very much like Mew VMAX. So like for those of you who weren't playing at the time, Mew VMAX was a very aggressive deck, very top deck reliant. You had a system in place that let you draw cards, but you're very much at the mercy of what you drew and when you drew it. This deck feels very, very similar to me. I feel like Mega Bunny is like just exactly like that. Like I'm just playing the game, hoping to draw what I need when I need it, and if I don't, I might lose. But this feels really, really strong. Like I haven't had very many games so far where we haven't run our opponent off the board. We go first as well, which takes advantage of a lot of these slower decks. Alright, we have Buneary and Duskull, so I think we'll start the Duskull again. I also do have an episode of the Zoric Learning Series that I have to edit, so that will be coming out shortly. I know Zoric did really bad this weekend, which is surprising, but I want to keep fixing it. And Piper released some cool stuff, so I really want to go over that stuff too. She has a new iteration that I'm really excited to try out. Double Poffin. Game you shouldn't have. Alright, what do we got? We got everything I care about. Do we even need to use the Fan Rotom? It's a Soul Rock. Did I go in with Klefki? I don't know if this is right. No, that wasn't right, because now I can put down a bunny. Freaking idiot. Alright, that's fine. We'll bunny next turn. It's cool. It's cool. I'm dumb. I am not the sharpest tool in the shed. That's okay. Hoping to inspire a brick here. I'm anticipating like some sort of Goldengo stuff going on, so hopefully they don't have a whole lot. They can't use their Genesect, stuff like that. An Artisan. Plan next turn will be do Ultra Ball and then blow up one of my bench spaces because I clearly can't count to 5. Make some space for the Buneary and we'll get going like that. I find it so tough to play on live sometimes because I'm just like so unfocused. I'm just like just doing BS. I guess it didn't end up hurting us too much here. I would love nothing more than Rare Candy Dusknoir. That's a good start. Could just hit for 70 here and KO using the Dusclops. Honestly, I don't think we need to KO using the Dusclops. That KO will be there for us the rest of the game. Do we even kill anything? Do we attack? No, I don't think we attack. We're gonna tickle this. So the difference between our deck and like Duskbolt is that our deck can reliably get into Dusknoir almost all the time. Whereas Duskbolt, you're playing with these numbers, you're really trying to like get it going in a way where the numbers support you. With our deck, we can basically rely on the fact that like even though these things both have 110, me lowering 1 to 40 won't change a whole lot. And it's definitely not worth using my Jet energy to do it. I think my Jet is really important here. So I think our next turn looks something like Evolve to Pidgeot, Pidgeot for Lillie, Jet the Buneary. No, we can't Jet the Buneary because it needs to be a Lopunny. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Probably need Arvin to set up their board here, I would think. Yeah. So this is definitely our worst matchup. Oh, they have Bunny too. Cool. In a perfect world, we're going in next turn and we're KOing both these Gimmigholes. Obviously, easier said than done. Okay. Is there any easier way we can do this besides Pidgeot for Lillie? Hilda gets us enriching, or we just draw enriching. Okay. I'm intrigued. So Hilda gets us Dusknoir now. Pidgeot for Rare Candy. So basically, if we draw one of the pieces, we can go ahead and quick search for Hilda. Let's see if we do. We got Dusknoir. So we Pidgeot for Rare Candy. Rare Candy there. Ultra Ball for another Dusknoir. We Dusknoir there. KO, KO. Yeah, it seems pretty good. Or we Pidgeot now for the Rare Candy. Go into Rare Candy Duskull Ultra Ball for the Lopunny because I'm kind of scared that's going to die. Okay, we're going to go with this route. This is kind of a win more route. Could get punished if we don't draw another Dusknoir, but I think we'll be okay because Night Stretcher plus Ultra Ball plus Dusknoir are all outs. We're going to find out. This is low-key risky. We're going to find out. We could also draw another Duskull. Another Duskull also gets us to where we need to go. So let's go ahead and do that. I feel like I need to evolve this Buneary. I'm really scared of this this Soul Rock picking off this Buneary if we don't evolve it. So I think we need to evolve it. We're literally out for 8 and just trying to hit a Dusknoir, basically. Okay, perfect. Oh, we could even... Yo, we can get 3 Dusknoirs. Yo, this is wild. Alright, yo, let's just do it. Let's just do it. It's going to put them down to 1. It's not smart. I really want to do it, but it's not smart, so we're not going to do it. It would have been really, really jokes. Because we could have Night Stretchered again for... could have Night Stretchered for the Rare Candy Dusknoir. And then blown up the Gimme Ghoul and then did it again. But we're not going to do that. We will use the Rare Candy, though. Let's blow up that Gimme Ghoul. Now benching that Duskull actually looks really bad. Unfortunately. If we didn't bench that Duskull, I actually would have loved our position here. Another Dusknoir. Yeah, so if we didn't bench the Duskull, we could have bombed out the Buneary because they wouldn't have had any attackers if we KO'd the Soul Rock as well. But because we have the Duskull on the bench, we'd lose to a boss if we let them go down to 1. So we're not going to do that. The good news is, if they don't find a way to take a KO this turn in some way on the Duskull or something else, then we can win next turn. The Pidgeot really does feel like it unlocks the stack. It is like a scary 1-1-1 line though. I don't like that line. Just the 1-1-1 just sitting there. You can prize on it at any point. I played that similar thing to Worlds. I played a 101 Pidgeot with Rare Candy, and it's like you prize one of the pieces, your whole deck is just cooked, right? So interestingly too, we're gonna need a few cards to actually win next turn. We won't just like, we have the boss, we're gonna need an energy. Specifically a jet or a switch. Well, I guess we have Pidgeot, so if they don't kill us, we win. Buddy Poffin. Hoping there's not like a random like Iono in their deck. Could be a prime catcher coming here. Yeah. So they're going to kill the Duskull so that they don't lose next turn. Which, I mean, makes a lot of sense. Benching the freaking Duskull, man. Might have just lost me the game. I'm gonna get demonetized for saying Diddy. I'm thinking about that now. Well, actually, like, what am I scared of getting demonetized for? I don't make no money. Who cares, bro? Diddy. I don't care. All right, one gimme ghoul has hit the board. All right, so there is technically a threat if we don't win this turn. I think what we really need to do is just Iono for, or sorry, pitch out for Iono here. So we're not going to bench them anything else, so they can't Soul Rock to win. If we Iono into Countercatcher, we're the greatest player alive. Let's see what's going on here. The CC is in deck. Okay. Okay. Oh, I didn't even check for the Iono. Oops. Okay, alright, we're good. Let's go ahead and do that. It's like misplaced simulator today, bro. I clearly have been on vacation. Alright, Iono them down to 1. We somehow find a countercatcher to countercatcher the Fez. We're amazing at this game. We did not. That's fine. We're going to just go and hit this thing and then just hope. They will be drawing a fair amount of cards. Yeah, which is scary for sure. Good news is I think both Soul Rocks are gone. Yeah, so they can't just Artisan for another rock to start treading through stuff. Sorry, these stupid glasses are like killing the bridge of my nose. You know when you like wear glasses like pinch your nose and you get a headache? That's what I'm like going through right now. So I'm like constantly fidgeting and adjusting. It's probably super annoying to watch and even more annoying to go through. Genesect, Metallic Signal coming out here. Gonna get a Goldengo, draw 2 more cards, which I guess is par for the course. We're hoping that they don't either have Boss KO or the ability to get 8 energies. Sorry, 7 energies? Well, no, it has to be 8 because it got attached too. At this point, you assume if your opponent has energy boss, they slam it down. Question mark? Yeah, guys, I'd feel a lot better about this if our enriching was still in deck, but it's attached. So we can't like try and Hilda just get into we can't Hilda and just try and get into a counter catcher. The hell? They had boss in hand. What is it? What? Hello? Bro, there's no way you did all that just to have boss at the end of it anyways, man. Come on. That is ridiculous. Okay. Alright, cool. Yeah, this matchup sucks, guys. I mean, this isn't news to anybody. I think we knew this. That freaking Duskull, man. That's actually bothering me. Alright, so, like, one thing I like to do when I test and, like, when I play is to sometimes, like, post-mortem in my head what I did wrong. I think you guys from watching that game learned about bench management. That's a mistake you won't have to make yourself. It's hard to say that I could have seen myself drawing Dusclops, Dusknoir, Rare Candy to get rid of the other Duskulls on my board and evolve them up. But, like, at the same time, what is that 4th Duskull ever doing for me? Like, I need to count the prizes better and just realize that my opponents have 4. I'm never going to bomb that 4th one anyways. So, yeah, definitely misplay there. It cost me the game. We would have won the game otherwise, hands down. So, that sucks, but we learned a valuable lesson there, and I'm cool with that. This list is really gas. I like this. As soon as if you have the Pidgeot, you have all 3 of the line, then you're in good shape. This deck is seriously real, guys. I'm going to leave it off on that with New Deck 108. We'll play some more games in another video, but this deck is seriously real. Like, I give you a lot of I would give you a lot of leash to learn how to play this deck. I think it needs some time to kind of get into it, but once you learn how to play it, it's actually a really good deck. Try the list that I put in the description. I'll also put that list that fella did well with this Pidgeot that we just tried out. You obviously have some bad matchups, you have some good ones, but let me know down below what you think of the bunny deck. I think it's really fun. I'm having a lot of good times with it. I think it's like the perfect BO1 like League Cup deck. You'll cheese a win here and there. So definitely enjoy it. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. And yeah, thank you for being here. Much appreciated. We're just getting started. Still churning out videos. But yeah, if you can subscribe, like, share down below, whatever the hell people do, that would help me a lot. Until then, till next time, I'll see y'all next time. Until next time, I'll see y'all next time. That's brilliant. But you know, I'm not gonna crop that out. I think that's just it's part of being a stupid YouTuber. I just don't know what I'm doing yet. So what's my outro? I don't even think I have an outro. Well, now look at us. Now I look like the dumbass walking down the street with an English cucumber and a bottle of oil. All right, easy, y'all. Peace.